Have you ever felt that sharing too much with your family sometimes does more harm than good? As we get older, there's a natural tendency to want to be open and honest with our loved ones, believing that full transparency is always the best approach. But the truth is, some things are better kept private, not out of secrecy, but out of wisdom. Not everything needs to be shared, and in some cases, keeping certain matters to yourself can protect both your peace of mind and your relationships. In this video, we're diving into 5 things you may want to keep to yourself after 65. These are not about deception or shutting people out, but rather about maintaining independence, avoiding unnecessary stress, and ensuring that your personal boundaries are respected. You might be surprised by how much peace can come from keeping a few select matters private. Stay tuned until the end, because understanding these 5 things could change the way you interact with your family, giving you more freedom in your later years. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Financial decisions and assets. One of the most sensitive topics as we age is money. You might think that being completely open about your financial situation with your family will prevent misunderstandings, but in reality, it often creates more problems than it solves. Sharing every detail about your savings, investments, or even how much you've set aside for the future can lead to unsolicited advice, pressure, or even family conflicts, especially when different generations have different views on money. Some family members may mean well, but their concerns or opinions can start to feel like interference. And in some unfortunate cases, people who were once distant suddenly become very interested in your finances once they realize what you have. You might have seen it happen before. Someone in your age group shares their financial plans with their children, only to find that their decisions are questioned at every turn. Maybe you've seen a friend deal with constant pressure about how they should spend their money, whether it's being told they should downsize, invest differently, or set aside more for grandchildren. It's one thing to get advice when you ask for it, but when people start thinking they have a say in your personal choices, it can quickly become frustrating. And the reality is, once you let people in on your full financial picture, you can't take that knowledge back. There's also the matter of personal control. If your family starts seeing you as someone who's not making the best financial decisions, they might feel justified in stepping in, sometimes with good intentions, but not always in a way that respects your independence. You might hear comments like, "Are you sure you should be spending that much, or wouldn't it be smarter to give some of that away now instead of later?" And even if no one directly pressures you, just knowing that others are watching and analyzing your choices can feel uncomfortable. This doesn't mean you should never talk about finances with your family. It's smart to have clear estate plans and to communicate necessary details when the time is right. But you don't have to share everything, the exact amount of money you have, what you spend on yourself, or even whether you've made a new investment. These are things that are yours to manage. If keeping some financial matters private allows you to enjoy your life without unnecessary opinions or pressure, then that's not secrecy, it's wisdom. Number 2. Health concerns that are not urgent. As we age, it's natural to experience more health issues, and sometimes we feel the urge to share every little ache, pain, or discomfort with family. After all, they care about us, and we want them to know what's going on. But there's a difference between keeping loved ones informed about important medical matters and overwhelming them with every minor issue. Constantly sharing every little health concern can sometimes create unnecessary worry, stress, or even lead family members to start making decisions for you before it's necessary. You might have experienced this before, mentioning a small issue like joint pain or fatigue, and suddenly finding yourself in the middle of a debate about whether you should see a doctor, change your diet, or take a new supplement. Family members, especially younger ones, often mean well, but their concern can turn into pressure. Before you know it, they're researching treatments, scheduling appointments, or even making comments like, "You really need to take better care of yourself," as if you haven't been managing your own health for decades. There's also a psychological side to this. If you constantly talk about your health issues, even the minor ones, your family may begin to see you as someone who is declining faster than you really are. They might start treating you differently, assuming that you're more fragile or incapable than you actually feel. And once people see you in that light, it can be difficult to change their perception. Suddenly, they're hesitant to include you in certain activities, questioning your ability to travel, or suggesting that maybe you need extra help, when all you did was mention that your knees were aching more than usual that day. Of course, it's important to communicate major health concerns, especially when they impact daily life or require family support. But choosing to keep minor issues to yourself doesn't mean you're being dishonest. It simply means you're protecting your own autonomy. You have the right to manage your health without unnecessary interventions or stress. Sometimes silence is the best way to maintain control over your own well-being. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any video. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3. Your true thoughts on family conflict. Family dynamics can be complicated, and as we get older, we often find ourselves in the middle of situations we never asked to be part of. Siblings arguing over an inheritance, adult children holding grudges, extended family members who don't get along. These things happen in almost every family. When you've lived long enough, you've seen patterns repeat, old wounds resurface, and history repeat itself. It's tempting to step in, offer advice, or share exactly what you think about who's right and who's wrong. But more often than not, doing so only adds fuel to the fire. Maybe you've experienced this before, trying to mediate a dispute, only to find that both sides suddenly turn against you. Or you offer a strong opinion, thinking you're helping, only to realize later that your words were taken the wrong way. The hard truth is that family conflicts have a way of sorting themselves out or not, regardless of your input. And when people finally do move on, they tend to remember what was said in the heat of the moment. If you take sides or express a strong opinion, you might find that even after the argument is long forgotten, the resentment toward you still lingers. This is especially important when it comes to opinions about younger family members. Saying what you really think about a son-in-law, a daughter's parenting style, or a relative's life choices might feel honest in the moment, but those words have a way of sticking. People rarely forget when they feel judged or criticized, even if your intentions were good. What feels like helpful advice to you might feel like rejection to them, and that can create emotional distance that never quite heals. That's why one of the wisest things you can do after 65 is to practice selective silence. You don't have to agree with everything or pretend problems don't exist, but you also don't have to comment on every family situation. Instead of giving an opinion, sometimes the best response is a simple, "I hope things work out for the best," or "I trust you'll make the right decision." This allows you to stay connected without getting pulled into drama that ultimately isn't yours to fix. Keeping certain thoughts to yourself can be the key to maintaining peace, not just for your family, but for yourself. Number 4. Your regrets about the past. As the years go by, it's natural to reflect on the past. On choices made, opportunities missed, and paths not taken. Regret is something that everyone experiences in one way or another, but that doesn't mean it always needs to be shared, especially with family. You might feel the urge to talk about things you wish you had done differently, whether it's how you handled your career, how you raised your children, or decisions that shaped your life. But what you see as honesty or self-reflection can sometimes be misinterpreted by those closest to you. When parents or grandparents express regret about the past, children often take it personally. If you mention that you wish you had spent less time working and more time with family, your children might hear, "I wasn't a good enough parent." If you say you regret not moving to a different city or pursuing a different dream, they might take it as an indirect way of saying your life with them wasn't fulfilling, even if that's not what you meant. Those words can linger and create unnecessary guilt or resentment. The same goes for regrets about relationships. Talking about a past love, even in a harmless way, can make your spouse or family members feel like they were a second choice. Even reflecting on friendships that drifted apart or opportunities that slipped away can shift the way people see you. Instead of remembering the strong, resilient person they've always known, they might start seeing you as someone who is stuck in the past. That's why some regrets are best kept to yourself. It's okay to think about them, to process them, and even to learn from them. But dwelling on them in front of family doesn't change what's already happened. More often than not, it only places a burden on those who love you. The past can't be rewritten, but the way you carry it forward is entirely up to you. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any video. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5. The full extent of your financial situation. Money is one of the most complicated topics in any family. It can bring people together, but it can also create tension, misunderstandings, and even conflict. As you get older, you may feel the need to share more details about your financial situation with your family, whether it's how much you've saved, what you plan to leave behind, or even financial struggles you're facing. While there are some cases where it makes sense to discuss certain financial matters, being too open about money can sometimes do more harm than good. One of the biggest risks of revealing too much about your finances is that it can change how people treat you. If your family knows you have a comfortable amount saved, you may find that some relatives start looking at you differently, perhaps even expecting financial help or subtly hinting at what they hope to inherit. On the other hand, if you reveal that you're struggling, you might find that your loved ones start worrying about you too much, or in some cases, even questioning your financial decisions. Either way, money has a way of shifting relationships, and once that happens, it's hard to undo. There's also the issue of independence. As you get older, the more your family knows about your finances, the more they may feel entitled to give you financial advice, whether you ask for it or not. Some might even start making decisions on your behalf, thinking they're helping when in reality, they're taking away your ability to manage your own affairs. You might suddenly find yourself being told where you should live, how you should spend, or what's best for you, all because you shared details that in hindsight might have been better kept private. Of course, this doesn't mean you should keep everything secret. If you have a trusted person such as a financial advisor or an executor for your estate, it's wise to have your plans documented properly. But outside of that, the best approach is often to share only what is absolutely necessary and nothing more. Keeping certain details to yourself allows you to maintain control over your own financial future while avoiding unnecessary stress, tension, or unwanted advice. If you've ever noticed how discussions about money can change the way people interact, you already understand why this is one of the most important things to be mindful of. In the end, your finances are yours to manage, and keeping some details private ensures that your relationships with your family remain built on love and respect, rather than financial expectations. Final thought. As we wrap up this video, take a moment to reflect on the 5 things we've discussed. Keeping certain things private isn't about being secretive or distant. It's about protecting your peace, your dignity, and your relationship. Not everything needs to be shared, and sometimes the wisest choice is knowing what to hold back. Think about your own life. Have you ever shared something with family only to realize later that it changed how they saw you? Or maybe you've held back from saying something and realized later that it was the right decision. Wisdom often comes from experience, and as we grow older, we learn that some things are best kept to ourselves. The beauty of aging is that you gain clarity on what truly matters: your peace of mind, your independence, and the quality of your relationships. Being selective with what you share allows you to maintain control over your own life while keeping your connections strong. It's not about shutting people out, but about preserving what makes those relationships meaningful. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.